We're gonna try to fix this before the semi gets in, otherwise it's gonna have a hard time doing it. Looking much better now. Look at that. Starting to get dark out here.
That one looks a little narrower almost, see that?
Yep, it's like it goes off.
That might be bad. 1, 2, 6.
I think it's gonna rain. Right, cows? No? Massey swallow, that's kind of cool. Let's check in their salt and their water again. They seem fine. That pond is part of it, but there's also an actual like tank that has an automatic pump, so when it starts getting low, it'll start filling on its own. So they're all gathered up here in this pasture. There's one behind there, a little ways. That one's fine too. So they look like they're doing okay, grazing on grass. So driving this thing on the highway is a little loud too after a while, because it's not a short drive, but it's not a long drive either. But still, about makes your eardrums a little kind of wanky. Although I guess I really shouldn't complain, considering I'm one of those audiophiles, if you know what I mean. Harvest has been kind of going good. It's not averaging as high as we want, but it's not wet either. It's just really like, I don't know, the humidity is just kind of hard on it. Anything past like 60% humidity, it's hard to cut anything. And then the wheat itself is at 15% moisture. That's pretty wet to be cutting. They want it, elevator wants it at 13.5. So we don't go above 14 when we harvest. So otherwise it's just a nightmare. They won't really take it, or they'll deny, going forward. But before I take back off again on a loud drive, this is the first field that we cut. As you see, there's a lot of weeds. That's very common in our area. Not, you know, not just us, but I wonder how much rain we got here. Looks like we got, yeah, okay, that's almost nothing really. So just a few drops up here since harvest, so that's not terrible. But before here, I think we've got up to 2 or 3/100ths of an inch. Yep, I guess it's time now to get back because I gotta go get the milk barn ready and stuff so we can start milking cows. And then I know I think my younger uncle might come and join me. I'm not sure. I know he's out cutting wheat right now, giving it a try. So he just sent me out here to check these two pastures because they are a little ways, but my pickup won't like it very much. I think I've shown you guys it, but this side by side here is probably a little bit better for getting down there and stuff. And my pickup's got a lot of miles. It's got about 200K. So I know it'll last another 100,000, but with how much driving we do, I mean, you know, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. Square bailing at night when it's freaking lightning like crazy out. Definitely not sketchy whatsoever. Man, it is dark. Sheesh. That's not good. That's raindrops. There's my uncle and round baler. I think I'm about done baling. It's raining really hard now. Well, you know, my PTO was on fire. I really hope this baler's not done. Man, it is nasty. Yikes. Just checked another pasture here at the farm just out west. And from last night, I don't know how much I recorded or how much the camera didn't catch. I'll have to see when I edit, but yes, last night when it was pouring rain really bad, we did end up getting kind of rain out of nowhere, and it did start a fire inside of that baler. It was inside of the PTO shaft in the inside, and from what we can tell, it looks fine. It still works, but we're not going to be able to push it as hard, we don't think. So the rain just happened so sudden, and I wasn't expecting it. My uncle kept going for like a solid, I don't know, 30 seconds. So I thought to myself, surely I'll be okay to keep going, and I was wrong. So that is my fault for that. But my uncle said, don't worry about it. He wasn't mad at all. He's like, yeah, that kind of came unexpected too. And yeah, so that was a little, I've never had that happen before. That was a little, caught me off guard for sure, but everything was okay. I mean, it could have been much worse. With how heavy that rain was, we weren't worried about, you know, the baler catching even more on fire or spreading across the field or stuff like that. Because I think there's a good chance that would have happened if it only rained, you know, for like a minute or two. But it was coming down really hard, as you guys saw in those clips. So, but everything's okay. Nothing's like seriously damaged. That baler is kind of brand new technically, but I mean, we update stuff every couple of years just because of how much use and how hard we are on it. But I mean, that square baler, I think they said they bought back in 2021 or 2020, right after COVID. So, and they trade off for a new one every couple of years or so. So it's not like it's a huge deal, but we just won't be able to push that baler quite as hard because that PTO. But we don't know if there's any internal damage more than that, because, you know, the PTO slipped inside the rubber, and that's what caused it to catch fire. I didn't see any physical flames myself, but I did see a lot of smoke coming from the PTO. So, you know, you kind of have to have a fire in order for smoke to be present. You know, that's basic science, but so hopefully, as far as I can tell, everything's okay, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. So, yeah, just kind of partly on my fault. I asked him if I should stop. My uncle said yes, because I was on the phone with him when it happened, and I looked back right after immediately, and that's when I saw the smoke, and I'm like, So, kind of thought I'd share that with you guys and let you know that of what happened there. So, it didn't happen to the round baler, surprisingly. I'm not sure why it didn't slip. I'm guessing it's because the amount of power and stuff, it probably takes a lot more to stop that PTO, because it's a lot more torque, and, you know, it's a much bigger bale. It's 1,000-something pounds versus, you know, these 80-pound bales. So I guess probably the amount is the only reason the round baler didn't slip, which would have been really, really bad too if that thing slipped. That probably would have destroyed the whole baler if it got twisted up enough or slipped enough. So then parts just don't rotate they should, and they get plugged and jammed, and that could have been a really big disaster. So it definitely could have been worse. I'm glad that it wasn't, but it's something that I definitely learned. So, you know, I've only been doing this for 3 weeks, so I've got a lot to learn yet. But it hasn't been very rainy here, obviously, until last night, which means that we're going to try to go cut weed this afternoon, early afternoon, see if it dries up because of the breeze. And it's been in the 90s all, you know, pretty much most of the week, the last couple of weeks. So hopefully it's under 14.5%. That'd be really nice. Get more weed cut. So I know we need to get that done, and we got some oats to cut as well. So, but yesterday we were just focusing on making hay. Last week is when we cut it, and then yesterday we did most of the raking, or we did all the raking, I should say, except for I think we have 2 fields that we have to still cut, rake, and then bale, and then we got to obviously haul the bales. So I think we've done 2 or 3 full loads so far of square bales. So there's, I think 100, or there's close to 100 bales I think a load for the square ones, and then round we've done 2 so far, and there's I think 6. Yeah, I think there's 6 round bales per load that gets hauled by a pickup. There he is, trying to spray all these doggone weeds. I bet they felt that there. He is hauling in that thing, man. Well, she's too heavy for this doggone hill. Yeah. I'm gonna kind of run that way in case if the park brake starts failing, that I won't get crushed by it. We tried the 856 and the chain snapped, so I didn't have enough power to pull it. But that is in there. I really got this stuck. Maybe it's a good thing I kind of sunk in as far as I did with the tractor. That way it doesn't roll back down there, but still I have to try to dig some of that out. Maybe, but we're supposed to be bringing the Massey later, which is twice the power. It should hopefully be enough to pull all this. I mean, that's not light either, let alone for this tractor. So I just brought the skid loader up so I can fix my mess once we pull it out. I would try to start maybe digging now, but at this incline angle, I'm probably likely going to tip the skid loader, and I don't want to do that. Don't need any more of that. So probably the worst part is the axle. You can see it's just buried in there. So behind both tractor tires. And then I don't know how bad the grain cart is. I'm not going to dare climb down there, but there's a little, I don't think there's much behind the cart from what I remember. So that's bad. So they're thinking I wasn't going fast enough, but we had an even lighter load. This is like 1.5 combine loads. We had one, and my older uncle was driving, and it barely made it. So I'm not sure why we decided to try this with me driving it. That's inexperienced. So, but they say that I wasn't going too fast, but I don't know if that would have made a huge difference. In all honesty, I think I still would have gotten stuck. So, because that is a steep angle, and that's, I don't know. That's probably like 20,000 pounds of wheat. So for this old little tractor to pull, but it is, well, actually I'm probably doing my math wrong. It's 50 pounds, roughly a bushel, and there's probably 250 bushels. So yeah, there's like, well, actually, it may not be that heavy, but still, I did a pretty good job getting this thing stuck. I was pretty close to making it. You can see where it just started to sink in. Didn't have enough power to pull up, and I mean, that one's probably the worst. You can really see it there. So, yep. We can't keep cutting wheat because of me, so it's the little things like that are annoying. So, but my other uncle said that, you know, most 99% of people wouldn't try doing this at this steep of angle. It's a good thing we didn't try the semi, because the semi is much heavier than this. So it's probably a good thing this got stuck and not the semi. But I'm thinking maybe if we can't get this worked out, we'll have to get another tractor out here, probably the 856 as well, with an auger, and we should be able to unfold the grain cart auger, and we can set a line going through here, and then maybe, I know at least from here we could probably get the truck, and we could load the truck with the auger if this absolutely will not come out, but I think the Massey will pull it. So the Massey's got a lot of torque in it, and it's 200 horsepower. Speaking of which, I think I hear them coming now, so. I wonder if he lost steering like I did inside the International. But it's out. Well done. Look how pretty it is now. Definitely not my doing. Well, I ruined it, but, you know, that still counts. Not again, man. This time it rolled, but it wasn't me driving. Oh, man. I think I'm gonna stand back. And yes, in case if you're wondering, that's not water, that's sweat. I'm drenched in it. I finally turned on the doggone AC, so I'm gonna take this back to town and grab my other uncle's pickup, eat some supper, and then bring it back, probably is what I'm gonna do. That's what they were telling me, so. But I'm thankful that this thing pulled it out. I knew it would. It's got the horsepower and the torque, and the duals help with the traction, so this could pull the cart out on its own alone, so. But I'm glad it wasn't worse. My other uncle, he's staying back and with a skid loader. I hauled it here earlier, and he's gonna work that and resurface it. It shouldn't take him too long, I don't think, so. But I'm thankful that nothing bad happened. So the first chain we had, it didn't snap, but the hook did, that was on it. So that's, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's what that other chain was, so. But I stood a little further back than I did last time for, you know, because of that, so. I'm starting to think trying to do this is not a good idea. I think the auger's on top of the cab, it looks like. Looks like the PTO's bent. I'm not sure how much, I might want to stand back more. Time to go stack bales.